does it take to be an Ironman? Simple. Swim 2.4 miles, then bike 112, and wrap that fitness sandwich up with a marathon. Brookline's Colin Cook isn't just an Ironman. He's one of the best in the country at doing it.
How about it for Colin Cook?
Part of the reason I continue to do it is just the love of kind to chase those goals and, the power and strength it takes to do that.
At 40 years old, Colin is one of the fittest people in New Hampshire. In October of 2022, he took a trip to Hawaii to compete in the Kona Ironman World Championships for the 7th time.
My goal was to go under 9 hours, and so I actually swam. I actually had a PR swim for there, had a PR bike for there, and was heading on the run. I just need to run a 3-hour marathon.
With 19 Ironmans under his belt, Colin went into the race as the #1 ranked American in the 40 to 44 age group.
I did not quite achieve my goal, but still had a very good race, and to most people would be quite satisfied with that.
Colin finished 31st in his age group and was the 3rd American to cross the finish line with a time of 9 hours and 18 minutes. Now, despite not being as sharp as he would like, you take one look at the medals around his basement and you can tell that there aren't many people like Colin.
It completes, the competitive side of me and allows me to be competitive the rest of my life if I want.
His proudest achievement to date was in 2020, finishing Ironman Florida in 8 hours and 53 minutes.
Here he comes, all right, our first age grouper, Colin Cook.
My goal was to go under 9 hours, which has been something I've been chasing for a few years. I did do that, and I also ended up being the first amateur at that race.
We'll get some fun squats going.
Colin trains about 12 to 13 hours a week, and a lot of it happens in his basement.
I've been building it up over the years. Actually, even just some of the weight stuff I just picked up like a month ago, so it's always getting enhanced here and kind of building on it.
So he gave us a tour. All right, wow.
So here we are at the endless pool.
The endless pool. So you just swim?
Just swim, yeah. So it's basically like a water treadmill here. I try to avoid the treadmill. I don't spend a ton of time on the treadmill, but when it's snowing or raining, we had some freezing rain the other day, so I did get on the treadmill here. So end up doing some running on here. This is where I do a lot of my bike training here, especially during the winter. But year-round, I actually lead Zwift rides, we call them, or group rides through. Zwift is the name of a program that's a kind of a virtual world that you can ride in with anybody throughout the world.
Since everything was right in front of us, Colin put us through some Ironman training. Growing up, Colin played hockey and was good enough to walk on at Quinnipiac University before transferring to Arizona State.
My whole life was my goal was to play in the NHL.
But his endurance career didn't start until he was about 27 years old. Before that, he had to overcome an important obstacle.
Partying became, a higher priority for me, and that continued on pretty strongly, very heavily, till a couple years after even I graduated college.
Unhappy with where his life was going, he challenged himself at his brother's house at 3 in the morning.
We were rather intoxicated, and I told him and my friends that I was going to run the Boston Marathon that year. And so they all laughed at me and said, "Sure, Colin, why don't you have another one?"
Now, the partying didn't immediately stop, but his life shifted at that point and held true to his promise on running the 2009 Boston Marathon in under 4 hours.
Felt better than I have, for a very long time, and finally felt some real purpose back in my life.
Colin wasn't the same after that, and now at 40 years young, he's in the best shape of his life, averaging 12 to 13 hours of training a week. Colin is married to his incredibly supportive wife, Kristen, and is a father of 4 who are now getting the triathlon bug and even winning some kid races.
They've all done triathlons and seem to enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun and makes me very proud.
On top of being a husband and a dad, Colin is a technical account and manager for a cybersecurity company, a triathlon coach, and runs his own business. So his days start around 3 in the morning.
It's humbling to go out and do a run at 5 in the morning, where a lot of times years ago I'd still be up awake partying. So it makes me really appreciate the changes I've made in my life.
When you're training as much as Colin, you need to help your body recover. And that business that Colin owns is Peak Recovery and Health Center in Manchester. So he was nice enough to show us around.
So what this is about 10 inches of water with over 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in it. So what we do is we go in there and literally just float. This is our cryoskin machine, and this is the magic wand of the cryoskin that is clinically proven to eliminate body fat. This is called our photobiomodulation bed, or low-level light therapy.
Oh my gosh, that's smart. I even got to do some cryotherapy so my body could recover from our intense workout at negative 230 degrees.
Yeah, you want to get your dance on?
Yeah. A little bit of this. And I got a massage.
The type I do is what the client is looking for, whether it be relaxation, therapeutic, or restorative.
And the tour ended in the compression therapy boots.
And that's just really helping to reduce inflammation and just make those muscles feel better here and speed up the recovery.
So not only is Colin an Ironman when it comes to the pool, bike, or running shoes, he's an Ironman in all aspects of life.
Would love to get on the podium at some world championships for sure, but it's still trying to get faster, even though I've surpassed 40 now, and I'm still getting faster and getting PR and personal best times. So just trying to make myself better every day is really what I care about.